also commentate?
Sure. Did you not make the top 8? I mean, obviously you didn't, but I thought you were very close.
I made 10th. I got knocked out, and then Joe Lewis won his, so he took my spot.
Oh well.
Nah. What are you gonna do?
Good run. Alright guys, so welcome back to the quarterfinals, the start of our top 8 here at the Star City Games Invitational Qualifier at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. 24 players and 5 rounds of Sliss has led us to just the remaining 8 players, 2 of which are battling under our feature match camera. On the left, the local legend Adam Vickers, piloting his trusty Gruul Aggro deck, and his opponent Garrett Meadows, who this week is piloting American Control. So on turn 1 we see a Strom Kirk Noble be answered by a Pillar of Flame, then Adam on his second turn chaining an Emissary into a Flinthoof Boar. Now joined by, my name is always Zachary Evans, I'm joined now by former participants, barely missing top 8 competitor Jordan Petio.
Hi there.
You're playing American Flash, right?
Yes.
You're playing more of a tempo-based deck as opposed to because Garrett's deck is like a control deck, but you're playing Geist of Satraft, right?
No, all the other Flash decks in the room are more control-based with like heavy counters stuff. Mine was like Thundermaw, Aurelia,
Yours was
Boreas Reckoners, very heavy beatdown.
It was like the more like the American decks that became popular at the onset of the archetype, where now they've mostly swifted over to like kind of control and even into just blue-white only.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. We saw multiple blue-white decks in the tournament today in earlier rounds of coverage, and it seems like that's almost entirely a hedge against Burning Earth.
Yeah.
So Garrett on the double Pillar of Flame draw, so this has gone pretty well for him, with 2 pillars followed up by a Aggro Bolus. And here's a Boros Reckoner. So we'll see if Garrett can untap into a Supreme Verdict.
Now, do you know if Vickers runs Burning Earth main?
He's not running in the main deck, I don't think. I think he runs the 3 copies in the sideboard, maybe all of them at this point. Well, I have the deck list. I think I could have figured this out earlier. And it's a
hurtful card, because I've run into it all day where people are main decking it now.
Well, I was going to say, it's not a Supreme Verdict that clears the board, but instead an O-Ring on the Boros Reckoner, and I believe that's an Armed and Dangerous. And then Adam's going to give his creature +1/+1 and double strikes to serve in for 8. Knocking Garrett down to 5. That's nearly the life total at which he would have liked to stabilize, as now he is definitely in burn range. Azorius Charm takes out the Flinthoof Boar, at least for the time being. And while Garrett's tapped low, he's going to... No, that's a Pillar of Flame.
Well, no, Pillar Spear. That's
Pillar Spear. Yeah, I was looking for the stupid deck list, and in the meantime, I missed the end of the game.
That's how the Gruul Aggro goes.
Yeah, well, at least in game 1 for sure. And that was actually a pretty good draw for Garrett, with an Augur to clog the board, or at least to clog the combat step, and then 2 pillars to take out early threats, but still enough burn. And I believe Garrett didn't play his 4th land ever, did he?
No.
Well, that's a huge aspect of that too. But you're exactly right. These are that is the way the deck is supposed to be played, right? So let's take a look at exactly what are in these decks. So Adam playing the requisite green and red aggro creatures that you would expect. Different additions to his deck that, or at least might vary from other builds, is 3 main deck Madcap skills, which I'm not sure if they will stay in his deck, considering Garrett is playing Azorius Charm. But in the sideboard he has 3 copies of Burning Earth and 2 copies of Skullcrack. Both of those are likely coming in, along with 2 Blasphemous Axe, 3 Scavenging Oozes, and 2 Fogs. Now he might bring in the Oozes as well.
Yeah, I figure he just brings in Earth,
Skullcrack, and Ooze.
That's the last thing on there.
Volcanic Strength, which is basically for the mirror.
Yeah.
So in that case, he's probably going to take out the Madcap skills, probably going to take out a Legion Loyalist, as he does just play 1 copy of those, of that. Might take out some number of Pillar of Flame as well. and probably the Armed and Dangerous too. So he'll take out some number of those cards and bring in Burning Earths, which are probably the most important card in this matchup. Now let's look at Garrett's list. Cards that are relevant, one Celestial Flare. Now he has two Renounce the Guilds, which are interesting because I think the only card in Vickers' deck it hits is the Boros Reckoner. So to be on, well, no, the Burning Tree Emissary, I guess, as well. So it'd be interesting to see if he wants to bring that in, as Reckoner is difficult for him to deal with.
Yeah.
But he does have another copy of Turn and Burn, which will come down, I'm sure. A couple of O-Rings.
What does he do?
And a Celestial Flare.
So how does he deal with Burning Earth? I mean, that's been my
How
big
does he
question
deal
all
with
day.
it? He casts. You lose to it, right?
No, I
cast
actually
an O-ring
have
on
a
it.
heavy way of deal. Like I put in enchantment hate, removal, extra counter spells, just so I don't have to deal with it. Because I hate that card.
So Garrett runs one Oblivion Ring in the main deck,
Okay.
and he runs two more in the sideboard.
And then he has counter spells, right?
And he has counter spells, and I'm pretty sure and it has a negate. He might bring that in, but I think that's pretty narrow. It does catch some of the burn spells, but other than that, it's kind of a dead card. That's basically how he answers it: is to fight it on the stack with a counter spell, or O-ring it after the fact. He is not playing a single basic land. Because he really can't afford to. I mean, these American decks have a very greedy mana base, and it's almost impossible to play 6 basic lands and still hit the mana cost you need at various points in the game. So that's not uncommon in any way, but still a factor in this game.
I mean, I don't know. It's what happens. Because I was playing earlier. I played Gibbs, and we were playing our first round to win it in. And I ultimate Jace or whatever, and start looking through his library and see main deck 3 Burning Earth, and I'm like, well, like I guess that's a thing. Because I know that people are starting to main deck from now because of how greedy all the mana bases are.
Mm-hmm. So looking at the competitors in the top 8, we've got, in one quarterfinal, we've got Big Naya versus American Control. In another one, we've got Gruul Aggro versus Gruul Midrange. We've got the match that we're watching here, and we've got Junk Aristocrats versus the Rock, or the Golgari Control List, however you want to describe that new scavenging, the mono black deck that plays Oozes, Putrefies, and
What do you think about it? I haven't seen it at all.
well, Aaron McLaughlin is playing it. We watched it last round in the feature match. It's pretty good. Hey, Jonathan. How'd your cube matches go?
Stomped him.
Nailed it.
So satisfying. Love being full cube smashing.
Beat him with his own cube.
Artisan.
Goblin Artisan?
Artisan Kozilek.
Artisan Kozilek. It's a very good one. So here we're watching Game 2 of our first quarterfinal feature match with Adam Vickers up a game thanks to, well, basically thanks to 3 cards, Armed and Dangerous, Searing Spear, and Pillar of Flame.
And the lack of land cards.
Yes, yes. The best card he played was
the deck.
the best card he played was the one where Garrett didn't have a 4th land.
It's crucial. That's, I mean... I don't want to say anything. I wanted to...
It's true. He's just having fun.
You shouldn't say anything.
So turn 1 Stromkirk Noble from Vickers, of course, on the play. It's a little bit worse than otherwise. Why are we doing this main phase?
Lightning Mauler.
This is very interesting to me that he brought in the Volcanic.
Well, it's unblockable, I guess, if he thinks that Garrett has creatures, like a lot of creatures.
I mean, Garrett has mountains, but he has
4 mountains.
He has Azorius Charm.
And then stuff like
And
that.
Yeah, I think you just, like, it's a very bad shock, is what it feels like to me.
It is. Because he only has 16 bits. I'm sure he's playing an island or even a plains if he's playing any basics at all.
Mono Volcanic Strength Hand, apparently. He is all in on it.
2-for-1s are good.
No, he has 8. He has 8.
Oh, does he? What are his other 4?
He plays all the Sacred Foundries.
Oh, I'm stupid. I forgot all about those. Good.
But Azorius Charm is a card he has 4 copies of, right?
For sure.
He's going to make us look like an idiot because Garrett doesn't have any of those cards right now and is just taking 4 a turn.
What's Garrett at now?
Garrett's at 9. As Adam lands a Scavenging Ooze.
Reselect him.
Up at the top.
Garrett.
Oh. Boom!
There we go.
I would explain what happened, but it's not worth it. No, we were waiting with the ooze on the stack to see how Garrett wanted to respond to that. Essence Scatter answers it. There's a certain point at which you would assemble the Legion. Sideboard answer there. But I mean, Garrett could very well be dead here. Rampage here. And 2 burn spells are good enough. We saw
he must
it
not
in game
have other
1.
stuff.
We saw it in game 1. Are we going to see it here?
He's not playing lands, so...
What's that?
The board?
That is the Searing Spear, dropping Garrett to,
okay.
dropping him to 2.
He's in pillar.
But the pillar does not come. Important to note that Garrett does not have a mountain currently in play.
Can block that.
Ooh, this is...
Uh-oh. Sandbagging it.
Play it untapped. Vickers called for him to play it untapped. And I don't think Garrett's going to fall for it. So Garrett forced to just pass back as he cannot play that Sacred Foundry or the Volcanic Strength creature is lethal. Pillar of Flame, does Garrett have a counterspell?
I think he does.
Rewind.
Syncopate for enough. In response, Searing Spear. Vickers gets there. Interesting choice to bring in the Volcanic Strength. I don't know if I would have done it, but I can't argue with results. As the there, and Adam's leaving. He's just going. He's got to head down the road, so he's just out of here.
Where's he going?
I'm just kidding. He's not going anywhere.
I mean, I know there's corn dogs outside, so...
I had one. Garrett was kind enough to give me one earlier. So it's unfortunate to see the game end that quickly, but that is the power of the Gruul Aggro deck. So not one of the matchups that... I don't know. As an... I'll go.
Gotcha. I'm just surprised he does. I mean, I guess in the race you just always win, I assume. But I figured there might be like a Frag Tusk or something in the board just in case. Like
well, it's actually a good point because Justin's deck does play Mana Dorks.
I like the last minute switch.
And his high end goes to Thundermaw in the main and Rurkthar on the side. But it is an interesting point that if you are playing in this kind of race scenario, or if you're paired up against an aggro mirror, if you're the deck that can cast a Frag Tusk, it seems like you might want to.
Yeah.
And I know Justin just started playing recently in this deck. I'm sure there are some cards that he's still trying to get together, but I imagine he probably hasn't even really considered that as an opportunity.
I mean, it's the end of the Frag Tusk era.
They cost $5.
$5 you wouldn't spend otherwise. You didn't need it for top 8.
Well, there's a pretty good chain as Brandon has no turn 1 play, but 2 emissaries into a Searing Spear on the Arbor Elf.
That's the stuff.
Pretty good start for Gibbs here as he tries to draw even in this quarterfinal feature match. We've already seen Adam Vickers and his Gruul Aggro deck advance to the semis. We'll see if Brandon can do the same.
So he brings in Volcanic Strength, Pillar of Flames, Visium Mortars. That's kind of, I don't know.
I did like watching him play Rurkthar earlier. That was fun. I actually like that card a lot.
Rurkthar is very good against it. Like if it resolves against control, it's very difficult for the control deck to win. Yeah. Especially now that no one has mill anymore. And I think what we're seeing here out of Justin's deck is one of the problems with his. He's at 16, right? I'll have to pay more attention to this. Because Justin deck does rely to a certain extent on those Mana Dorks living.
He's holding a lot of lands. I saw 2 lands. And I don't know if I can see anything else.
Yeah, Justin's deck only plays 23 lands, so he's trying to cast multiple 4 and 5 drops. He's very much wanting his. So Gibbs is going to serve in with 2 more emissaries.
So, do we know, why did he play the Stomping Ground on tap? Like, just to, like, hvae? Or,
I don't think he did he? He did?
I thought he did.
Annihilating Fire.
Annihilating Fire.
That card.
Pretty good.
And in response, we're going to Gore-Clan Rampager it. So instead of taking, it's still going to take the 3 damage, but it's now a 6/6 creature. So 6 damage will go through.
Yeah, I think he's explaining his stack to him right now. That's another thing. Like when you play on camera like that, I don't know if he realized that he could have done that when combat was entered, but it's something that people let slip sometimes. They let them attack, and there's a possibility of a gore clan.
I think not playing. I mean, I think they're getting some rules clarification here based on the timing. I think it's one of those things that the more you play against Rampager, you realize that you can't let them attack. You have to do everything, before they declare attackers.
I think it's like the way I would go hedge my bet if they say go to combat. Yeah, but otherwise against these decks, which are kind of like the old Blitz decks, where they could go Burning Tree into a Lightning Mauler or something like that. Which, like, I don't know, in that situation, so you're gonna burn something, but you don't know. Like maybe they go into a Kickoff or something like that that has haste, and then you want to kill that instead. And in that situation, I don't know, maybe. This is before damage, as far as I know.
I'm not exactly sure, and this is one of the points where it's difficult for us to know exactly what's going on because we can't...
Well, he declared attackers.
Well, he attacked. I'm just not sure if this is, like, after they take damage. I don't know if the question is the creature considered attacking even after combat?
There's like a split second thing where they have...
Yes, there's a point after... Now, at the end of the... If you go, like, to the end of the turn, can you just ask what the life totals are?
Because I know that, because I know that there's a split second between, like, after damage is done.
Brandon's at 20 and Justin's at 8.
Okay. I think what the question is like, if he attacks with it, and then, like, he takes the damage at the end of the turn, if he tries to Annihilate Fire, is it still declared attacking? I don't think so. So I don't know.
It's attacking until you end combat.
But there is a point after damage is dealt when you're still in combat. It's like in Legacy when you Maze of Ith, your own Knight of the Reliquary that got attacked, and then, So I think that may have been the discrepancy that Justin was unsure of. And remembering, Justin is not a newer player to Magic, but he's only recently gotten back into the game, so...
Yeah, and he's already top-aided.
Yeah, I mean...
$50 turn.
Yeah, he's figuring it out.
Got a good deck. Yeah, he is at 8.
Yeah, we got it squared away. Hellrider? The Hellrider, I think it's the only thing in this deck that costs 4 other than Rampage. It's like the cruelest part of the world where you have to cast the Hellrider and then make it back
Gibbs' third card in hand.
He has 2 cards.
2 cards now.
Uh-huh.
His board really isn't... Okay,
he's got a block. Like, do you even care?
Land here. He has to block.
Dude, there's no way around blocking.
Yeah.
Here we go.
This is the double gold clan hand.
Yes, it is. So we'll be taking 2 and 6 minus 3.
5, dropping down to 3, and so he's dead to a spear.
Plays Rook Guitar pretty soon. Can't spear him without taking 6, so it's a race.
And what are his outs here?
Bonfire off the top.
Oh, okay.
And Gibbs never had
land in the bonfire. Here's a land.
Removal spell.
I think he has a bonfire.
Creature.
I think I saw a bonfire in his opening hand.
Well, Gibbs also has to have nothing else.
Yeah, he's dead to Searing Spear, Pillar of Flame. He's dead to Lightning Mauler. He's dead to... Well, not Lightning Mauler. He's another creature. He's dead to Flint Hoof Boar.
To play Burning Earth and just be like, hey, why not? Just a mega.
So if he had land, he would just... well, he has a land, so he's just going to
Ash
bonfire
Zealot.
2 here.
Yes.
Let's put him at 18 and wait for the board. I think that's what's happening. Yep.
Ouch.
That's the only thing he can do, but he just had to... So Brandon clearly doesn't have a Searing Spear, but, like, he's got 2 live cards and a draw off the top of his deck. Looks like he's...
And then like a Reckoner. Like, what do you do against a Reckoner? You have no... I don't think the deck has.
You lose.
Yeah.
Here's a Rakdos Cackler.
Ooh.
It's going to go ahead and choose to unleash that, which places a 1/1 counter on it, but it cannot block.
I'd like to question the strategy, because if you leash it, you got versatility there.
So Gibbs is playing around bonfire.
Yeah. Well, he got blown out in game 1 by it. Not that you... I mean, what's fortunate is that Brandon was in a situation where he could afford to play around bonfire. Because Justin was putting no pressure on him whatsoever.
Right.
Hope to lose this one.
Ooh, that's another one.
Thunderball.
Not to laugh at that, but it's like the Hellrider situation. Like when it sits back and blocks, like that's just like.
Yes. We've played the two most aggressive creatures in the format, and we have left both of them back to block, and at least one of them has died to Gorklan Rampager.
He has something, or he doesn't.
Well, he's going to do that regardless. The third Gorklan Rampager.
I don't want to kill your Hellkite. Game 3. The Gustin's on the play. This game changed a little bit.
Yep. I think it's very interesting how much that game turned around with that Arbor Elf getting burned early. I think that's the biggest advantage that Justin's deck has, is that it has mana dorks that can help it get to his high end much quicker than I mean, if it's just an old-fashioned race, Thundermaw Hellkite races very well.
Yeah.
But it has to come down at a point where it's still relevant.
Well, you also have the situation like with Justin. He hit like 3 or 5. At what point are you out? Like you just have so many burn spells and things that he can do to kill you before you can do anything to him.
Crazy King in the chat saying that he runs 8 Rampagers. Certainly looked like that in that game. But I mean, that's the way you put the cards in the deck. We've seen at least 2 separate players cast 3 Voice of Resurgence in the first 6 turns of games tonight. So sometimes you draw them, right? I can still remember every time in my life where I've played 3 Goblin Guides in the first 2 turns.
Well, in the Modern Masters...
Twice it was against Joe Lewis at FNM.
Modern Masters tournament, I think I had Triple Pillar, Snapcaster hand against an Aristocrats deck or something like that. That was a fun game.
For you.
Hey, it's good, right?
No.
Lies!
Oh yeah, you can take it back, I guess. Can you find it?
So we can... No, you had to find it from yesterday.
So at the very end at the top.
So how games I'm sure you used to.
I used to.
Back in my day.
The Blowfish game on there's pretty fun. Gotta make the Blowfish big.
That makes you think of like what, Insane Aquarium back when like people had PDAs. I used to play that on like my dad's or whatever.
Question in the chat, is it standard? It is in fact a standard tournament.
But these are also modern legal. If you swing that
These
way.
are also modern legal and legacy legal. And vintage legal.
Gorklan Rampager, hitting vintage. You heard it here first, guys.
You don't play Gorklan or your vintage decks?
No.
I mean, in Turn 1 Black Lotus, you're getting that guy fast.
Did
Blistering.
something wrong.
That's what I said. I would love to go to I would love to have power and to go to like a legit tournament and go turn 1. Mox Emerald, Black Lotus, sacked Black Lotus, adding red to my mana pool. Gorklan Rampager, your turn.
Deal with it.
Deal with this. There's more where that came from too. He is not restricted.
Play your ups, look it up. Yep.
I don't remember. I think we got up to 470 today at our peak.
I think the standard right now is fun to watch.
Huh?
Like, it's decently fun to watch.
We've had some good Magic on today. We really have. And the only thing is today is pretty rough is that since there's only been 24 people and we've only had 10 to 12 matchups along the day, there hasn't been a lot of. When one match ends quick, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of the guys don't play on the stream very much. They're not as apt to move over.
How many rounds left? This is the quarterfinal.
It's quarterfinal, so we've got this one, and then we've already got 1 quarterfinal in the bag. We've still got 3 matches going. Are any of the other ones done? Did you notice something?
See if Joe Lewis wants.
You can stick your head out. See if you're still playing. Looks like Joe lost.
The feels.
Because his opponent is standing up.
Alec and the Rock player are playing.
Yeah. Aaron.
What's Alec playing? Aristocrats?
Yeah, Junk Aristocrats.
Now, see, Alec has driven that deck like hard for a while, so I think
That's
He plays it very well.
Action, isn't it?
For Aristocrats or for the other guy?
Mutilates and fragments. Seems good.
Yeah. No. Alec,
Desecration Demons survive the Mutilate for 1. Or, I mean, I guess you can't control the Mutilate, but...
You can.
You can by not playing Swamps.
Yeah, it's a rough matchup for Aristocrats, the more I think about it.
If they can board into stuff like, or I guess they have Scourge Stag's main, like if you can start making demons or something that's fat or like evasive to their like mine. Yes. I'm on this overweight.
You need to draw Sorin, and you need to.
I think you just need the most aggressive start possible.
You need to load the board and cast it on curve soaring and make an emblem and pound in. That is interesting to look
I
at.
don't know,
That.
pounding on a rock is like a good idea.
The comedy stylings of Jonathan Wright, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of that, Scotty just figured out yesterday that Ian Nolte was a comedian.
He's very funny.
I don't know how he didn't know that.
He is hilarious.
He is. We watched his video on YouTube.
Which one, about the horse?
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because, like, the only, of course, we're talking about my buddy for ages, and he sat in on commentary one FNM, and our fellow Cuber, Ian Nolte, who is a practicing stand-up comedian down in Huntington, as well as public school teacher.
Wait, what does he teach?
He's got the best
English. He's an English teacher at the Cabell County Alternative School. It takes the special few to, like, that is not an easy job.
Yeah, I know.
No.
But the only clip of his stand-up that's on YouTube is one that somebody else cut into like a promo thing, and it's like easily one of the foulest thing. It's not like Ian is like Eddie Murphy style comedy, but he just has this one joke that is pretty. It's blue, but it's also very funny, and that is the one that's forever archived on the internet.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I hadn't talked to him that much. I just figured he was really a really nice guy. He was going around smiling, talking to people. And I watched it, and just, what's this guy? This dirty.
For a split second, I thought we were talking about Ian Straight.
Ian Straight?
Oh,
he is the opposite of
the party.
That's a callback from our trip to the PTQ. That Ian Straight, he liked to party. I'm looking at Alex's deck list to try and figure out what he would bring in against the rock deck, and it looks like he might bring in a couple Appetite for Brains and Obsidat.
What else is in there?
Not much, really. Yeah, Death Rights. Death Rights aren't really good.
No.
Abrupts aren't good. Abrupt will hit Liliana, but that's about it.
Vampire Nighthawks.
Oh, it'll kill Ooze. But I mean, you have Tragic Slivs. His Smite.
The 1-mana blocker attacking thing gets destroyed.
Yep. Sing Collector.
Gets mutilated.
If he's that scared of mutilate, yeah, he can play Sing Collector. That deck plays a lot of.
What also hits Doomblade? It's just a sorcery, so you can hit Doomblade, and it gives you information.
Doomblade. There's a Rock play. Yeah, Rock plays it. Rock decays too.
Because Rock is just, is it mid-range or heavy control?
Welcome back, Scotty.
Where you went?
We're not firing.
It's not happening. Probably not.
I mean, unless you want to ask people in the chat if they want to come down and draft. Corset draft, Lost Legion, $10. Free win right here.
These guys
Did he
killing me with the shuffling. Yeah, he had
the longest part of the match between Aggro and Gruul mid-range, the shuffling.
There was one time on our FNM stream where there was a match between Max was playing some aggro deck against someone else, and I said, I guarantee you the match took less time than the shuffling in between, and I went back and watched it, and it did. Like, we timed it, and it was like they played 3 games in more time than it took the sideboarding and shuffling. But it was just like the most aggressive. I can't remember what it was, but it was just like the most aggressive decks, like mono red.
Was this a while ago?
Yeah.
I was wondering if it's that Michael Miller's weird
grab bag? Nia grab bag.
Nia grab bag.
Yeah.
Grab bag.
I called it Nia grab bag once because I didn't know what to call it, and it's more fun than good stuff.
You gonna be here Wednesday for Modern?
I'm gonna be out of town this week. Do you need a deck?
I was gonna see if I can borrow 3 Marsh Flats.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't worry, no one else will be here.
Oh no.
It's not over. Let's go bonfires.
Did you know that statistically speaking, a pile shuffle is no better than a riffle shuffle?
Sure.
Just riffle. Here's also an old trick. This is very interesting. This shows my age. There's an old cheat that was used in Limited called the double nickel. If you take 23 cards, 17 lands, put your 17 lands on top of your 23 cards, and then do a pile shuffle and 5s, put them on top of each other and pile shuffle and 5s again, perfect mana distribution.
How do you how is that less effective? How do you really gauge the effectiveness of a shuffle? Like,
Well, there's like, you can just do the statistics of like looking it over. Like,
Well, you can just figure out as the cards are placed in. Like, the point I'm trying to make
no,
is
I
that
understand the cheat. I just don't understand.
I think the worst shuffle ever is the one that people like, they
we're
lock
talking
off.
about how you can compare, like,
Yeah, how do you compare riffle to that?
I mean, in terms of its randomization, a pile shuffle does not randomize the deck any more than a riffle shuffle does. It's one of those things that it feels like it does.
So what's the best way to shuffle?
Just riffle
Card
shuffle.
shuffle machine.
Riffle shuffle and
Automatic
cuts.
shuffle.
Whatever way is fastest, in my opinion, right now.
You can actually just stack the
I
cards
can
the
see
way
where
you
your
want it.
patience is today.
Huh?
I said I can see where your patience is today. Headed out the door.
We've been here for like,
Yeah, going to four.
A good while.
7 hours.
no, I'm talking about
Oh.
from the end of round game 2 until right here.
Ew.
I'm not lying, probably 12 to 15 minutes.
I mean, he's got them all again. He's got them all again.
That's the other thing.
No, I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying.
People
I'm not worried about mulligan. Huh?
Can I recharge?
People make some really poor decisions though on like not mulling when they're down to like 6 or 4 or like 5. But it's like, why keep a hand
Being
that's worse?
being willing to mull is something that new players. It's one of the hardest things to learn in quasi-competitive Magic is that I have an awesome hand but one land, and I need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Or deciding when your hand is better than a random card or hand with one less. But more importantly, being able to recognize hands where you have lands and spells, but could never win the game with them.
Yeah.
Some players are just incapable of
land.
We're drawn live.
Nailed
Boom!
it. Turn to string order,
This
guys.
would be a nice comeback. Like I would like to see this just like.
So
No,
start.
no
Nice.
one drop from Brandon, which means he's got an emissary hand.
He's gonna let play. Yep.
Flint Hoof Boar.
Still good.
You know we're
on
going
4.
to see an emissary here. It's just a matter of how many.
Or
we're
just
gonna
some
see.
kind of disruptions about to kill the L.
Something's killing the
Emissary. Emissary.
Ooh, what is that?
3
Emissary,
board.
emissary board.
Yep, Flint Hoof Boar.
Mountain.
Well, congratulations, Brandon. Mountain, so we're drawing live to Bonfire for 2.
Also allows him to trade with or
Dominate! Ooh, I don't know why that's so exciting to me,
You
but like
can-
he's like in it.
You can fight. No, you can
Fight,
fight.
an emissary.
Board on emissary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
Awesome.
Justin agrees with that line of play.
Excited.
Passes back to Brandon.
you
So
just,
spear here is really good.
Yep.
Spear the boar, attack, kill
I
the
mean, damage
Domri.
has been done. Anything else with Domri's gonna be 2 for 1 unless he attacks him down.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Maybe.
Attack him.
We don't know.
But it saves life.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't
Yep,
attack us.
there it is.
So 3 down. Roughly 17.
Drop him to 17.
I think the key thing though is the elf is still alive.
Why did he
Because
take
missing
it
that
off
land
at
drop.
his? He just took it off at his life total.
No. Don't worry about it.
He's like twisted. He's not paying attention.
Somebody else told him, but they just ignored him.
Just replace it.
Can't attack this one.
That's just so funny the way he's like, oh yeah, and then flips it around. So Justin finds a replacement boar, so that at least stymies the offense a little bit here.
I like the way this game's going.
There's a lot more play in this game with Justin mulling to 4 and having 1 card left in his hand than you would think.
Absolutely.
Muller. I'm calling Muller.
Bueller.
Bueller. Volcanic Strength.
So the burn spell in Justin's hand just got a 1,000 times better.
I think, would you put it on the boar?
Yeah.
Well, in that situation,
Because
you're
he
putting
can-
all your eggs in one basket though.
But
Because
Justin's
the boar's-
deck can't
He doesn't
kill the
have-
boar at 5 power, at 5
The
toughness.
only thing he can do is bonfire. He doesn't have mana to bonfire for all that. The game's likely going to be over before he can bonfire for 5. And Mythium Ward doesn't care of that, but it takes care of emissary. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a slight mistake. I think it's probably a mistake if you.
It's really, I mean,
It's in. I mean, what word?
it's
It's
really
a.
near.
It's a embarrassment of riches kind of scenario here. But if I'm Justin, I snap block that flint hoof boar.
Yeah.
I break it off.
No possibility.
Do you rip the cards in half too? Just to like really show your assert your
We're
dominance.
playing. Yeah, that's a good point, Justin. We are playing the Star City Games IQ with Iron Man rules, which is when a card is destroyed, you have to destroy it.
I like to play that way in Commander.
Make
Someone
some-
that destroys your land, you rip that shit up.
Makes some burial rights very much unplayable.
I mean, you can barrel rights half a card.
Yeah, pray for more.
So we're waiting here for Justin to decide if he wants to.
Trade with his war.
I think you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
Well, it gets really aggressive, and he starts fighting back.
Because if you don't, then you give Brandon the opportunity to draw a spear, and then you don't have the option to trade at all.
Or core plan.
Yeah, it's an excellent point too. I mean, now that he doesn't have Gore Clan mana up, you at least know you are going to trade and not just get destroyed. Interesting that he didn't play a land before, at least bluff the Gore Clan.
Misplay.
I mean,
Misplay of the week.
Justin's not in the position to play around cards in his hand all the time.
No.
So yeah, I would play the
What are
land.
we gonna see here? A card?
I might have made him think harder though.
Wouldn't that just be the nuts?
That would be the nuts, but he doesn't have it.
We'd have 0 cards in hand.
He's one card left.
This is the time where champions are made. Possibly.
Why they cracked me up.
The faces are the best part of Twitch. None of the quality of content matters at all.
Morning go be 2 mana.
No, it's a scavenging ooze.
Scavenging ooze! But gain some life.
So you could
That's
never
good.
mind.
So good.
I think it is correct here to eat a creature on your own turn. That at least turns off Pillar of Flame.
I mean, you could do it in response.
That's right. I'm an idiot. It's not an instant. God.
What? Where did his hand go? Was that all that was there was ooze?
Yeah, Justin's hand went into his deck during the mulligan process.
Ah. Whoa!
You brought him.
I believe.
No,
Draft
no,
on
no.
Masters.
How many did they get on the list for draft?
4.
4 too less.
I mean, after this, we might be able to fire. With Justin. Am I right? Yeah, he's gonna lose.
Reckoner.
Yeah.
Is that even fun?
No. In response, eat a boar. Go back up to 10.
Well, he took it down.
What's it? So very strong.
And I got there and fixed it. He took it down.
Johnson is the life counter Nazi here.
Don't worry, it won't matter. For much longer.
Yeah.
Justin make it very easy for Brandon. He's damaged it himself.
Mana burn. Suicide out.
It's his only weakness. So after eating the Flinthoof Boar, the Scavenging Ooze is a 3/3. He also has an Elvish Mystic and what appears to be an irrelevant card in his hand.
If you had Gore Clan, though, you can attack, hope 3 blocks with Boros, discard Gore Clan to Scavenging Ooze, trample over, kill the Boros Reckoner, deal some damage, then ooze away your Gore Clan to gain some extra life. I mean, it's not...
I don't think he's gonna block anytime soon.
You know, you don't know what these guys are going to do.
Is that like... What? Weren't you playing something with him?
I was. He's in Legacy Zombies, or he was.
I'm sorry, it's called Zombies.
Zombies. Legacy Gore Clan. We were talking earlier about how Vintage Gore Clan is one of the most effective choices in the current meta.
Nobody sees it coming. That's because it's horrible.
My Tombolt can't do anything about that. It's good.
In response, win. My only weakness. That literally is the only weakness of the vintage Gore Clan deck is the Time Vault, Voltaic Key combo. Everything else it's got just pegged.
If you get in there to any other deck, what are they going to do?
I think it's funny that we're joking about that, but very seriously, Slash Panther is a card that he's play in Vintage.
What is Slash Panther?
A 4/2 Flash that costs 4 and a red Phyrexian. 4/2 Haste that costs 4 and a red Phyrexian.
By the way, I just got a text. Alex is in top 4. So,
Alec? Yes?
Alec. Sorry, I called him Alex. But Alec is in
on the record now. It's going to be offended for forever.
It's very hard not to. I know full
It's
well.
It's a weird name.
I also call. It's not a weird name. It's just less common than Alex.
Might as well be named Alejandro.
All right, thank you.
Your name has a C in it that we don't pronounce.
It's not my fault. The Asians are a cunning race.
Asian is.
Sorry.
Well, let's move off this topic.
So...
Back to Gore Clan Vintage.
Well, he drew a forest, so that's not going to help.
Mystery card.
Murukthar? I don't know. Is he even there? 6 mana?
No.
Come on, we have to know what's the card.
I have not seen what that... He's not flashed that card at all. It's something he can't cast. It's obviously not a land.
It's not Mizuborn.
It's not Museum Players. Of course, the infamous highlight of the week when Justin won an F&M where he Gore Clan, and I was like, there's no way he has Gore Clan in his hands. But he had Gore Clan in his hands. So I'll go on record as saying that in previous iterations I have been known to be way wrong. It was because it was kind of a slow roll, and I was like, oh, he wouldn't do that. But then he would.
But some people just forget it and they're like, oh yeah, I can win. Yeah.
No, I think he was just trying to figure out if there's any way, he was just trying to figure out if there's anything he should play around. He was. Slow rolling is something that it implies intent. If your intent is...
I do it all the time. No, I'm just...
But you have to be close to winning to slow roll.
Walked into that one.
How do you slow roll from the 03 bracket? Miracled Mountain off the top.
We're getting live draws here. I like it. Fresh stuff.
So he can go to... Are there 2 creatures in the yard, so we could go to 10? Or no, only 1. So he can get a 9. Taking 4 no matter what. 5.
What's Brandon thinking about? You just pile in here, right? 4 of it's unblockable. 3 of it is basically unblockable. You just shock him down to 1, and then you kill him next turn. Or, alternatively, you just attack with your Volcanic Strength guy, and then kill him next turn. Well, but you can't because he's going to gain... He gets one more creature in the yard, so that doesn't work. Well, then you just attack with your Reckoner next turn. You Pillar Flame your own Reckoner.
I think what Gibbs wants to do in this game, and correct me if I'm wrong, he wants to win, right?
Someone in the chat said, I always forget to slow roll. I think that's just hilarious.
Like Waller. So
Paired with the Boris for Connor.
I think he was just seeing if this would be game, but it's not.
Unless he has Rampager.
I don't...
He goes to 1.
Even with Rampager in? Because you've got 4 unblockable.
Oh, with Rampager it's good. But I think Rampager was good before the Lightning Mauler.
We were just talking about slow rolls.
The problem is there's a huge difference between slow rolls and slowing your roll.
What about yeast rolls? Where do those come into this
Or
equation?
knowing your rolls. Slowing your rolls and knowing your rolls.
Who comes up in drumming?
Who can tell we've been doing this for 7 hours?
I want to watch the end of this game. I want it to happen. Aren't these fast decks? These are fast decks? I don't know if anything. That ooze has done so much work though for
You know what the ooze has done? Prolonged the inevitable.
That's...
Like the Boros, like there's a chance he could have like drawn a Thunder Maul or something and dug out of this. You put the Mystic on the Mauler.
You could just walk back and go to that 1 period, or yeah, you could go to 3, and then eat
2 more activations off your...
Go to
3
4.
more activations off yours.
Yeah. But there's not enough creatures. I mean, that one's gonna die. He'll get another one, so we'll go to 5 at the end of this turn.
Mystic is gonna die too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And the Mauler.
That's
And
true.
you just take the...
So we'll go to 6.
So Brand's going to do the 1 damage directly to...
Well, yeah, Fog would be kind of sick nasty if like you could somehow turn it around.
Fog?
Yeah.
Just in place, Fog.
Well, that's what someone was mentioning in the chat. Like if you just like you get this huge ooze attack or something, and then
That card couldn't be Fog. You just wait until he's completely dead.
that's to go into 0. Fog.
What are we cleaning up here? Mauler dies. You have 1 redirect damage from the Reckoner. Justin's going to take 4. Assuming you redirect the 1 damage, should be at...
Mystic's dead, right?
Yeah.
Or did he not block?
Or did he
Didn't block
hit
it.
first? No, he didn't first, right?
Yeah, he blocked it.
There it is.
Eat him. Eat them cards.
And there's the final Boris Reckoner redirect damage. We got there, guys. And then we're going to eat the remaining 2 creatures, going up to 6.
Takes it down.
Goes to 2. There it is.
And counters.
And I can officially say that Brandon is dead on board, right? Or Justin is dead on board, right? Barring a fog, it looks like a Flint Hoof Boar. No, it's a Hellrider and a Gore Clan Rampager. So we can get him down to 10.
No, what he can do, the pro play, is blood rushing his opponent's attacking creature. Just to
He kills Phantasmal Image.
Has that come up for you before?
No, but one time we were playing in Legacy and Garrett had to rank. Garrett put like Spirit Mantle on my image to kill it. Not Legacy, yeah.
Modern.
Commander. Yeah.
So you do what you got to do with the cards you're dealt.
I do what you got to do in living color. It's a flashback to a show that was on when some of you weren't alive, probably.
Hey-oh. I'm going to leave my butt.
Okay,
Walk around
but
outside.
Are you ready? I want to watch this after this game. I still want to watch the top 3. Really.
Do what?
I want to watch the rest of them. You got some RB? No.
he's just being sad panda because he didn't get a draft.
There's still people. Get the burn kit.
Huh?
Said if the draft will fire, I'll play. But well, I mean, if it doesn't fire, you're not gonna play. I'm just gonna go home.
Draft from Moto
Yeah.
with Jeffy. Co-draft.
Were you born in the 70s?
I was not born in the 70s. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what we're waiting for here because we're just dead. You can't block one of them, and the other one is going to deal 3 damage no matter what.
Too many good.
To make good tell. Hey guys, you need to quit playing. It's over. Those cards are Hellrider and Rampager, aren't they?
Probably, I think so.
I need hand cams.
And then have like lines come out here and put like chants or something in there.
All right, there we go. We got there. So congratulations to Brandon Gibbs. He comes back from 1 game down in this match to win and move on to the quarterfinals. The semifinals. We've got Junk Aristocrats, Big Naya, Gruul Aggro, and Gruul Aggro. All right, let's go. Try to force these guys along.